A good Erev Shabbos, everybody. I miss all of you dearly. I am looking forward very much to when we can reopen the shul and be together again and won't have to share Torah anymore through only Zoom, and we'll be able to be together. And God willing, we'll be able to rejoin at the shul to continue to learn Torah. Thank God, though, that we have Zoom and we have classes taking place. The rabbi's class on Monday night had close to 100 people in attendance via Zoom, and we wouldn't be able to do it without such teleconference capabilities that we have today. And God willing, this week we'll all be able to ramp up our and zoom in to all of the classes and Torah offerings that are being provided. I wanted to share a quick thought before Shabbos as we enter into another one of these very unique Shabbosos where we'll be apart. After the building of the Mishkan, the Torah tells us that we did a review, that Moshe took an accounting and went step by step. And that's what happens in Parshas Vayakel-Pekudei that we're going to lay in ourselves on our own this week. The Medrash tells us that when Moshe did this accounting, he actually came up short. He came up 1,775 shekels less than what should have been accounted for. The ledger did not match up. And Moshe was starting to panic, that he thought that people would accuse him of embezzling the funds, of taking the money, that he came up 1,775 shekels short, and he was in a panic. Then the Medrash tells us that God brought Moshe's attention toward the Vavim Ha'amudim, which are the small hooks, the small hinges that connect, that, you know, the things, the connectors of the Mishkan. Like we all have in our house, we have the nails, the screws, and that's those small things that Moshe overlooked. Now the question you have to ask yourself is, of all the things the Medrash is trying to point out to us, of something that was so important that you know, this is the one thing that Moshe missed, and then God brought his attention. Why is the Torah, why is Chazal bringing our attention towards these Vavim Hamudim, just these small hooks, these small hinges? So maybe we could suggest it's because it's the small hooks and the small hinges in life that really bind us together. I was just thinking about this morning, that we have taken for granted some of the most basic necessities we have in our life over these last number of days. The ability to go to the supermarket, the ability to go and see my doctors freely without having to worry, the ability to connect with people around me, the ability to go daven a minyan, and if I don't go daven a minyan, at least I know that there's a minyan there. That we take all of these things in our lives for granted. And over these last few days, we recognize how every single person makes a difference and matters. That there are these small hooks and hinges that sometimes we overlook that really are the connectors, the Vavim Ha'amudim. You know, the Vav in the Hebrew language is a connector point. It's a way of connecting one thing to the next. The Vavim Ha'amudim connected the Mishkan together, and it's the Vavim Ha'amudim, those often overlooked people around us, that get overlooked. The garbage collector this morning, that I was thinking to myself, wow, thank God that there was someone who continued to go to work despite everything that's going on in order to make sure that my garbage and recycling is taken, that I can go to the supermarket and there could be someone who is there taking care of the things that I need. And the nurses and the doctors that are taking care of all the people around us with God's help. These Vavim Ha'amudim, these connectors of society that are too often overlooked. Together as a people, we have to make sure that we use this opportunity to recognize the value of each one of these Vavim Ha'amudim. In our community, in our families, in society, to use our Hakaras Hatov, to recognize the good, that thank God we have these connectors, because without it, the entire structure would collapse. The Mishkan would collapse. The the Rebbe Biala pointed out that the letter Vav, written Male, written in its full form, if you write out the letter into a word form, it would spell Vav Aleph Vav, which has the same numerical value of the name of God, 13. That Vav Aleph Vav plus Vav Aleph Vav equals to the Shem Hashem. That we have to recognize that Hashem Echad, that our one singular God, is complete in the fact that it connects everything around us. As we step into Shabbos, let us reflect on the importance of each and every one of these individuals. That as a community, right now during this time, that there aren't people that are being overlooked that need help going shopping, that they can't leave the house because they're at a higher risk. That we make sure that people that whose parnasa is at risk have the ability to be supported by the community. That we don't overlook these Vav Mahmudim because they are so critical in the thing that holds our beautiful Mishkan together. Wishing everyone a wonderful and beautiful Shabbos.